Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. And I've got some 1v1 action coming away this afternoon, chaps. Not ladder, it's going to be custom. Essentially, though, the principle is, of course, the same, albeit these players might be slightly more inclined to try alternative stratagems and tactics to accomplish their victories. Global ladder ranking points not quite as important to these guys as general ladder. So anyway, the map's going to be Finn's Revenge. Players are ready, you guys are ready, I'm ready, so let's head on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. Loved me some Finn's Revenge, and I haven't seen any Finn's Revenge come into me for ages, which leads me to believe this might actually not have featured in the previous season ladder pool, which probably tells you how little Subcom I actually managed to play. Suffice to say, there is a new ladder pool. Incidentally, the champions from the previous season have selected it. No idea whether this features either, but I love this map. I really hope it does. It does make for some certainly very interesting games. Anyway, let's take a look at our players. Up here at the top, in the blue corner, my good friend and fellow caster, TA4Life, going his customary Aeon, opening first land. And down here at the bottom left, in the baby pink corner, it's Vorlex, and he actually featured in the last cast. And it's not actually, I thought it might have been Vortex's baby sister, especially choosing this colour, which he's customary to do so. It's actually not, it's TA4Life, and that's actually the second time in casting history which I referred to him as a girl, so apologies to him. I'm sure he'll get over it, he's a nice chap. But might want to change his colour scheme though. With a name like Lex and baby pink, what am I supposed to infer from that? It's slightly effeminate. Not that that's a problem. But yeah, incidentally, of course, he was a member of TEA and has now gone across to Vor because TEA now defunct. So him, Nomsbringer, and whoever else must have been scattered to the winds and gone their separate ways. Don't know what Vor actually stands for in clan language. I'm assuming the O is like an of. It's lowercase, so it's a V of or something V of something R, whatever that might mean. Answers in the comment section below if you know what I'm talking about, because I certainly don't. Anyway, back to the game. So there's Olex, and he's going Seraphim, baby pink, opening first and second land. Anyway, the initial scouts have gone their separate ways. We've got a floaty, naughty spirit come across the map from TA4Life, and a lab. So a little bit of early aggressive play there from TA, picking off a Selen up here. You can see that wreck. There we go. And another Selene going pop, this time on the far northeastern edge of the map. Aurora taking care of business there for TA. And 2.5 minutes gone. Not seeing any signs of the ACUs on the move yet. Of course, the meta game, the consistent play that these guys generally go for, is you bring your ACU across the map to harass your opponent's base. Now, generally you take it down this side. It'll allow you to get the extra mass on the side here with the extended build range. TA4Life not having any problems with the engineers managing to get that done early. But also, if you come down this side from the top, you've got all of these mexes which you can pick up on the way and defend from any incoming unit. So generally, the bottom guy will take the ACU up this way, and the top guy will come down this way. But of course, Olex, liking to prove me wrong in every way, shape or form, is on the move in the opposite side. But like I say, the meta is least likely to be adhered to in a custom game. These guys just not as concerned about global ranking as they would be about ladder. TA, I keep about to say TA, Olex there. No, Vorlex, Olex picking up a mex there with his ACU and moving on. We'll see if we can get an idea where he's going. He's going to go beelining straight up here, so he is going to take the right-hand edge. TA4Life now on the move, taking the more consistent path with his ACU, so he's playing more as we would expect him to, but is a little bit slower at coming out and emerging. Both of these guys not emerging super fast. Ladder seems to initiate the very much more aggressive play, I would say, generally on this map, and of course other small 1v1s. But Thams and a Selene circling over on the western walkway there, sort of northwestern edge of the pond. People were actually saying I called this a pond before, because I said it doesn't look like it's a lagoon because it's not tidal, but of course we don't know what high tide might look like. It might well be tidal, so it's either a pond or a lagoon. Either way, no one's going to lose any hot dinners over it, so I don't think we need to waste any time. FAF on the move, picking up 2 Auroras with his ACU as he struts his stuff across the southerly? Ah, God, I don't know what's going on with my brain today. The most southern land bridge. Southerly, that's it, the southerly land bridge. It's all going wrong, and I don't have time to restart the cast. You'll forgive me, because you're all awesome. TA4Life bringing his own ACU to bear now on Oryx as he passes over that land bridge with the ACU and about 4 more THAMs. What's he planning to do, though? He's parking up just down there. Doesn't seem like he's pressing any further, but Oryx continuing to press. We have got a bomb around on the field for TA as well. And we do have some commitment to the air game from Oryx. He's got one of his own out there. Air factory attached to the hydro. And TA4Life already at T2, so he's gone pretty early T2, 5.5 minutes gone in this one, and he's producing blazes. Interesting to see where he's headed with that. 2 bombers out apiece for these guys so far. TA4Life looking to harass this side of the map with that air power, which is probably a good idea. He's looking a little light on the ground. But Oryx very far away from home and looking considerably more aggressive. Wants to get in here quickly. We do have some T2 engineers in play now, and they're starting to produce Oblivion turrets. If Oryx makes a move now, he can get in there, or he could take out these engineers with his bombers. There's little or no anti-air coming out of that base at all. Starting to see some thistles emerge out of the T1 land factories now. So could really do with getting there. Going after the blazes, interesting choice. Definitely think picking off those engineers would be the way to go, but he gets his ACU in play, and still another 35-40% left to construct on that Oblivion turret. So good ACU timing there for Oryx. TA4Life trying to run him down, and this is actually quite a dangerous place now for TA. He's got himself into defensive mode. He's bringing back his ACU to defend. Meanwhile, of course, Finn's Revenge affording the aggressor lots of protection because the water's ever so close to the starting base. He can just back up into it when he decides he's had enough. No overcharge yet available to Oryx, I don't think. No, not even the power to fill it up, even if he did have the energy storage. But look at this, BAM swooping in as well. So Oryx looking pretty aggressive here, yet somehow TA4Life not drastically behind in mass, but no sooner do I say that, he does go behind, and then it switches again, so we have to keep a careful eye on that. Now we have an Asylum in play for TA4Life, and Oryx just sitting there, balls out, reclaiming that T2 HQ. Am's still doing well over here with an accompanying Zui for a little bit of extra building damage there. This does not look good at all, really, for TA. Yes, he's got a couple of units down here, but they're not going to last too long at all. Otherwise, this is a nice, strong opening from Oryx. Not only is he dominating on the ground, he's dominating in the air, and now he has naval power in play as well. And look at that, 17 mass to 4 in favor of Oryx. This is very bad indeed for TA. 8 minutes gone, and it already looks like it could be over. TA's error might have been bringing his ACU back. He should have perhaps pushed further on to harass this base, because now Oryx has got all the time in the world to continue to expand and develop, with TA eternally confined to defense. Down goes the hydro, down goes the air factory at the back. TA4Life now with no ability to produce aircraft at all. The saving grace is that he's got at least one Ascendant out over here. Frigates circling around the back. Coming up to 9 minutes gone in this one. How are we looking on reclaim? 1,600 banked for Oryx so far, 2,000 banked for TA, so not a drastic difference between these two, but definitely a slight bonus there, edging towards TA. In comes the FAMs at first for Olex, and then he turns it around when he realizes that's TA4Life's ACU. But this is something that's definitely going to concern him. Fortunately for TA, there are no Zuis in this pack, so the Eruptor is going to have a field day when they get into range. Looks like energy storage, I think, maybe. Might have been a T1 P-Gen that went pop there. Either way, it's more resources TA4Life can hardly afford to lose. TA under fire now on his ACU. 5,700 hit points and falling, backing up into the center of his main base. Olex is going to pursue. All the time, more units heading north from Olex's base. We do have one Blaze and two Auroras down here for TA, but not sure what that's going to accomplish. And we do have a T2 upgrade on the way for Olex as well. And T2 Navy would surely seal the deal for Olex in this one. He's yielding quite a lot in global ladder ranking points to TA in this one, so this would be a little bit of an upset here if he can manage to pull this off, but still he's got the perfect platform on which to accomplish it. Streaking ahead here in the first 10 minutes, 25 mass compared to TA's paltry 11. Managing to get his ACU in range of those THAMs. Olex, meanwhile, safely underwater with his comm at the back, but no real danger of being set upon by anything unknown either. He knows he's taken out the air production capability, so he's not going to be hit by any kind of torpedo bombers, and he controls the sea as well. And minor victory at the back there for TA4Life as he snags Olex's hydrocarbon, and that's enough to cause some power issues for Olex, who immediately readjusts his building. Nice little bit of micro there from the T1 bomber. Just to hang about to get that second bomb off on top of the Blaze. Yeah, he's somehow hanging on in there in this one. He's got virtually nothing to work with in terms of eco. And that Zui, annoyingly just in range of that Oblivion turret, firing over the top of the Nook here. TA4Life shields it with his Asylum. Be able to hang on to it. Finally, the Blaze looks like it was dealt with, probably by that bomber with one kill to its name. In comes the T2. And to TA's credit, he's got a nasty little band of T2 out front defending here. Oh, did he move the Asylum away at the wrong time? Oh, no, not quite. That was particularly close. Oblivion turret survives with 290 hit points. Be glad to keep hold of that. He definitely is going to require its services in the future. Meanwhile, more T1 pressing to the east. That's another mechs down for TA. He definitely can't afford to lose. 19 to 11. 3,600 mass banked so far for TA in reclaim. 2,700 for Olex. So TA slightly increasing his lead over on the reclaim side of things. But what is that? Is that a destroyer or a cruiser that's under construction? I think that might be a cruiser, and this is where a destroyer pops out. Soon to see. Oh, it is a cruiser. Hooray! Thank goodness. Getting quite a condensed ball of stuff now. This base whittled down to its core units. These Ascendants providing heroic anti-air support against Olex, coming in with the occasional bomber, trying to pick off key structures such as power. There's not a lot of power going around in that base. TA4Life surviving on just a paltry 220 power. see he's absolutely bottomed out. Trying to power this asylum won't be helping him at all. And Naval Factory queued up at the back there for TA. I'll be very surprised if he manages to get that operational. Olex's comm right next to it on an upgrade. But this is going to be major issues now. The fact that there's a cruiser on the field for Olex, he's going to be able to sting TA's base at range. TA immediately needs to get some volcanoes in play. I don't know how he's going to manage it on his eco, though. And look at this. Cheeky little pushback. Blaze is having some success there for TA. Takes out the mass extractor in the Nook. It's actually 15 mass apiece right in the middle, but TA getting caught right by the lagoon, down into the red. Little rank of veterancy there. He comes in trying to bring his asylum into shield. He manages to do it. 90-something hit points left. Oh my goodness me, you lucky git. 60 hit points as he retreats back into the water. Olex can't believe it. He thought he had him. So did I. That is outrageous. TA4Life with a near miss there. Just manages to scoot his ACU to the pond and to safety. Volcano TMD under construction. You can see how slowly those hit points are climbing. It's going to take forever to complete. Thankfully, he has already managed one there. And once again, Olex re-emerges onto land, starts T2 PD, switches up to the radar, and then completes, or moves to complete, the T2 PD. Once again, it looks like Olex might lose that hydro, though. And Olex only operating off 400 power for the moment. Loses 100 with the hydro, down to 300. What does that do to his power? Causing him some slight power issues. Definitely doesn't want to lose this line of T1 up at the back. Can't afford it. It's the one little band of units that's keeping TA in this so far. This is going to be a major problem. We've now got Olex building a little bit of a point defense creep here, working his way in towards TA's base. Look at the range on that Oblivion turret. Oh, he just needs some radar. He's still very concerned with TMD, which I can understand, but boy, do we need some intel at the back there, TA. But look at this work that he's doing with his blazes up at the back. Nice micro avoids the T1 bomber. Ascendants make sure it doesn't get a second run. That T2 factory down to 11,300 hit points. But look at the amount of T2 units knocking on Olex's front door. 18 minutes gone in this one so far. Olex strays into range. Does TA have intel? No, he doesn't. Definitely needs to get it, but that second Oblivion turret in the middle there, or third I should say, is going to be absolutely crucial. Olex down into the yellow, 9,800 hit points. TA4Life still cowering under the water with his ACU somehow on fire at the bottom of a lagoon. Never quite sure how that works, but having some good success back here and actually edging ahead in the mass game. I can't believe it. 18 to 15 in favor of TA with a nasty little band of blazes. If only had a fervor or two to comfortably deal with this T1 PD and get in around the back and knock out the power grid, he will be laughing. See, he's having power issues just with production he's got currently, the amount of mass that he's producing and building from. Olex steps forward once again with his ACU. would love to take out that T2 HQ that's only on around 3,300 hit points, but forward he comes. Facing off mano a mano with the Oblivion turret. Taking some Aurora fire as well, but it's not enough. Down goes the Oblivion turret. Down goes the T2 HQ. Gonna have to go to split screen. There's too much valuable work happening on both sides of this one. He could just nail the rest of these T1 power generators, he would be in pretty good shape. Of course, he's still got no real answer for this cruiser at the back here, belonging to Olex. He's spending an awful lot of resources on TMD to try and keep it at bay. Olex with good solid pressure from the ACU. Continues a point defense creep, this time with T1. All sections providing good cover, but it's not enough to keep it operational. However, is picking things off one at a time. Meanwhile, TA moving his units around the Nook. And TA once again falls significantly behind with this incursion into the main base from Olex, building tons and tons of PD. 21 mass to 13. TA forced to build in a more southerly direction. Got his commander, who's looking a lot more healthy now, on around 4,700, and still having success down here. Of course, all the time this is going on, Alex is building yet more point defense in his main base. TA managing to dispatch the rest of those PDs, but they've done their job. They've taken out all of the TMD, and now the cruiser can really just step in to finish things off. I like this cheeky little build we've had down here. TA4Life getting a naval yard together, well aware that he needs to take down this cruiser. He has got one Sylph over here, which managed to take down the frigate, but going to want to move it in to finish off that cruiser ASAP. We can go back to single screen now. Bizarre game this is. 23 minutes gone in this one so far. Can't remember the last time I saw such a strange turn of events on a Finns. Very unusual. Don't really know why TA's withdrawing this sub though, and he's not just going after the cruiser. Yes, there is the torpedo launcher. Look at the range of that. He was sat up here. You could easily sit it out here and harass this cruiser. This is the one thing that's doing him in at the moment and giving Olex the advantage. That T2 naval factory destroyed in that last little pass with the T2 ground units, the Blazes, who are looking like they are making their way back to home base. I guess he feels like he needs it to counter all of this. What he really needs is some T1 artillery to go with it. He won't stand a chance against all of the point defense that's in there, and he needs to take down this cruiser. 44 kills to its name already. What can Olex see? He can indeed see that coming for him, so he retreats back up to the torpedo launcher. Nice job going after that, and now Olex looking like he's got his manufacturing under control. Begins to move once again with T1 on the left. He's going to struggle against the quantity of Blazes waiting for him. But what's important is, though TA may possibly survive this, he's not going to be able to continually repel bodies of spam like that and deal with what's going on over here, which is quite frankly disastrous for TA now. Olex pressing very hard with his ACU. TA going for a little bit of a build in the middle on a naval factory, and Olex working on some anti-air defense. I'm surprised he doesn't build a T1 torpedo launcher in there just to make life that little bit more difficult. And that represents the last active factory, except for this naval factory way up here for TA, who's relying now solely on the mass produced by his ACU. 2 mass per tick coming in. That is it. Excuse me, that doesn't register that. There is this 1 mass extractor down here. TA managing to dispatch those units in the middle, but Olex comfortably set up on both sides, and TA just shoved out. All he's got left are these blazes and these ascendants in the middle. And I suspect there's just too much point defense for him to be able to crack. He's going to have a pop at it anyway. Wants to lead with his ACU. Goes 1 unit at least. T2 under construction and going up very quickly indeed. Very healthy eco there from Olex. TA immediately pounces on it. Fast getting slaughtered at the same time as it continues its reclaim mission. Prospects diminishing by the second for TA. Down to around 4,500 hit points and falling, focusing with his units on that PD. Down it goes, but won't make it to safety as he drops into the red. Olex pulls up a pretty significant victory there. It was strong, confident play from him. Very nice to see indeed. Commiserations, TA, but very unusual game of Finns. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, more to come from me in the future, guys. In the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle, signing out.